The universe is usually silent. It is a graveyard of stars and cold rocks that drift through the void for billions of years, never making a sound, never being seen. But every once in a while, the silence breaks. For the last few months, astronomers around the world have been tracking a ghost. It appeared out of nowhere. A streak of light moving so fast that it defied the gravity of our sun. They named it 3IATLAS. The 3I stands for Third Interstellar Object. It is a visitor, a traveler from another star system. We knew it was passing Mars. We knew it was close, but for weeks, we were blind. The major space agencies, NASA, the SA, went dark. No high-resolution images were released, no close-ups, just data points and silence. We started to wonder, did we miss it? Did the traveler slip by in the night without us getting a good look at its face? Well, the silence just ended. But the images didn't come from NASA. China's Tianwen-1 orbiter has just released the first confirmed close-up images of the intruder, and what they reveal changes everything. It's not just a rock. It's active. It's glowing. And it is speeding away from us faster than anything we can catch. Today on Quasix Cosmos, we are breaking down the leaked footage, the strange blue coma surrounding the object, and the geopolitical shockwave of China beating the world to the discovery of the decade. Welcome to The Intercept. Before we dissect these incredible new images from the Chinese Space Agency, we need to take a step back. We need to understand why this blurry photo of a dot is causing such a massive stir in the scientific community. You have to remember, for the entirety of human history, every comet, every asteroid, and every meteor we ever saw belonged to us. They were part of our family, born from the same dust cloud that created Earth and the Sun. That changed in 2017. That was the year we met Oumuamua, the Scout. It was weird. It was shaped like a cigar. It tumbled end over end, and it accelerated as it left the solar system, almost like it had an engine. It spooked us. It made us realize that our solar system isn't a closed bubble. It's a train station, and things are passing through all the time. Then, 2 years later, came Borisov. That was the second visitor, but Borisov was comforting. It looked exactly like a normal comet. It sprayed dust, it had a tail, it followed the rules of physics. We all breathed a sigh of relief. But now, we have the third. 3IATLAS. This object is the tiebreaker. Is it a dead rock like Oumuamua, or a fuzzy comet like Borisov? When the Atlas survey telescopes in Hawaii and Chile first spotted this object back in July, the math was terrifying. It wasn't orbiting the sun. It was cutting through the plane of our solar system at a sharp angle, moving at over 50 kilometers per second. At that speed, the sun can't hold it. It's not staying. It's a drive-by. And the trajectory put it on a collision course with the orbit of Mars. This was our one chance. We didn't have time to launch a rocket from Earth to catch it. We had to use whatever was already out there, and sitting in orbit around Mars, waiting quietly, was China's Tianwen-1. Now let's talk about the engineering miracle that just happened, because taking this photo wasn't as simple as pointing an iPhone at the sky. Tianwen-1 has been orbiting Mars since 2021. Its job is to look down. It carries high-resolution cameras designed to map the Martian surface, to look for water ice, and to study the soil. It is a geologist, not an astronomer. To capture 3IATLAS, the mission controllers in Beijing had to do something risky. They had to physically tilt the entire spacecraft. Imagine you are driving a car on a highway at 60 miles per hour. Suddenly, someone tells you to take a photo of a fighter jet flying past you in the opposite direction at supersonic speed, using only your backup camera. That is essentially what Tianwen-1 did. The object was millions of kilometers away, moving at hypersonic velocity relative to the probe. The window of opportunity was minutes long. If they missed the angle by a fraction of a degree, they would capture nothing but empty black space. There were rumors that NASA attempted a similar maneuver with the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, but we haven't seen the data yet. China, however, took the shot. On October 3rd, the distance closed. The onboard computers locked onto the faint heat signature against the cold background of stars. The shutters opened. And for the first time, humanity got a look at the face of the traveler. So what are we looking at? At first glance, it looks like a smudge, a pixelated blob. But to an astrophysicist, this blob is a treasure map. Here is the breakdown of what the CNSA images confirm. First, and most importantly, it has a coma. Look at the fuzzy halo surrounding the bright center. This confirms that 3IATLAS is not a solid metal rock like Oumuamua. It is volatile. As it gets closer to the sun, the heat is boiling its surface, turning ice into gas and creating a cloud around the nucleus. But here is where it gets strange. Early spectral analysis, which is basically looking at the color of the light reflecting off that gas, suggests a strong presence of the blue spectrum. In our solar system, comets are usually dirty snowballs. They are made of water ice and dust, but a blue coma suggests something different. It suggests the presence of carbon monoxide or even cyanogen. Why does that matter? Because carbon monoxide freezes at extremely low temperatures, much colder than water. This tells us the origin story of this object. 3IATLAS wasn't born near a star. It was likely born in the dark, frozen outer edges of an alien solar system, their version of the Oort cloud. It has been drifting in the absolute zero of interstellar space for likely billions of years. The ice on its surface has never felt the warmth of a star, until it entered our neighborhood. We are watching ancient alien ice sublime into gas for the very first time in history. The images also give us a size estimate. Based on the brightness of the nucleus, Chinese scientists estimate the core of the object is roughly 5 to 6 kilometers wide. To put that in perspective, the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs was about 10 kilometers wide. This thing is half that size. It is a city-killer class object, and it is currently tearing through the inner solar system. Thankfully, it's not hitting us, but just seeing a rock that big moving that fast from a star system we can't even identify, it makes you feel very small, very quickly. We can't talk about this discovery without talking about the timing. Why are we looking at Chinese images and not American ones? Space exploration is supposed to be a collaborative effort. But let's be real. It's also a competition. The release of these images is a massive flex by the Chinese National Space Administration. By releasing the data while NASA is still processing or reviewing, they have effectively claimed the discovery. For decades, NASA has been the undisputed king of deep space photography. When something cool happens in space, we expect the Hubble or the James Webb to give us the wallpaper-worthy shot. But Tianwen-1 proves that the playing field has leveled. China repurposed a Mars mapper into an interstellar hunter in a matter of days. That requires incredible software flexibility and autonomous control. It sends a message to the world. We have eyes in the dark, too. And frankly, this competition is good for us. It's good for science. If we only had one agency looking up, we might miss things. If NASA's camera fails, or if their budget gets cut, we go blind. Having multiple superpowers pointing their cameras at the sky ensures that when the next visitor arrives, someone is going to see it. It doesn't matter if the watermark on the image is English or Chinese, the data belongs to humanity. So we know what it is. We know who took the picture. But the biggest question remains, where did it come from? We have traced the trajectory of 3IATLAS back as far as our models allow. It didn't come from Alpha Centauri. It didn't come from any of our nearest neighbors. It came from the direction of the galactic bulge, the dense, chaotic center of the Milky Way. Some astronomers believe this object could be a shrapnel piece from a destroyed solar system. Imagine a star exploding, or a planet getting ripped apart by a black hole billions of years ago. A chunk of that icy planet gets flung out into the darkness. It drifts for eons, passing through empty void after empty void, until completely by chance. It intersects with us. When you look at that grainy image from Tianwen 1, you aren't just looking at a comet. You are looking at a time capsule. That blue gas glowing around it? That is the atmosphere of a dead world, resurrected for a few brief weeks by the heat of our sun. And it brings up the theory of panspermia. If this object carries ice, does it carry organic molecules? Does it carry the building blocks of life? Could life on Earth have started because a visitor like this one crashed here 4 billion years ago? We might be looking at a seed carrier, a cosmic pollinator drifting between the stars. Unfortunately, the visit is short. 3. ATLAS is already on its way out. It used the sun's gravity as a slingshot, picking up even more speed. It will cross the orbit of Jupiter next month, then Saturn, and then it will fade back into the black void. We will never see it again. Humanity had one brief window. A few weeks to catch a glimpse of it, and thanks to a robot orbiting Mars, we didn't miss it. But this encounter leaves us with a lingering question. We found Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019. Now Atlas. 3 interstellar objects in less than a decade. For centuries, we saw nothing. Now they are everywhere. Are there more of them? Or are we just finally opening our eyes wide enough to see the traffic on the highway? The universe is getting crowded and the silence is breaking more often. We have to keep watching, because the next visitor might not just fly by, the next one might decide to stay. What do you think about the Chinese images? Does the blue coma prove it's natural? Or is there still a mystery here like Oumuamua? Let me know your theories in the comments below. I've linked the raw image files from the CNSA in the description if you want to analyze them yourself. If you want to stay updated on the hunt for the next signal, make sure to subscribe to Quasix Cosmos. We decode the universe, one mystery at a time. I'll see you in the next one. Keep looking up.